Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 28 after 9 o'clock, and I'm pleased to be teaming up with an old colleague, not an old colleague, but an ex-colleague, to talk about teaming up with another community activist for a 10-hour pilot course to attract and train emerging journalists. And of course, the strategic intent is to introduce Muslim youth and adults to citizen and activism journalism and digital media reporting. So this sounds long overdue, sounds very interesting. And I think we do need to see more and more journalists emerging from our community. They just are not enough. And I'm kind of wondering if social media is not partly to blame for this situation we find ourselves in, because every second person is chasing fame, name, and glory by becoming bloggers, etc. I'd like to know what Rashid thinks about this and how we can then change the trajectory as far as this situation is concerned. Assalamu alaikum, my dear ex-colleague Rashid Chopdat. Welcome to the program. Nice talking with you this morning.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, shukran for having us, and it was great to talk to you again.
So this sounds like an amazing venture initiative. You're talking about the journalism boot camp for Muslims. And how do you respond to my opening statement regarding social media that has exploded in our community, that every second person is now chasing name, fame, and glory by becoming bloggers and influencers, etc., etc. That certainly has an impact on what we're talking about this morning, does it not?
Yeah, correct. We're not going to be able to change that. There are always people out there that want to get name and fame. But let me start with this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. When Anissa and I looked at the situation, we've been doing a lot of community work in Durban, and one morning we said, we'll write an article about this unemployed youth program that we were both involved in. And we had some volunteers and we talked to them. Then we realized that, look, there is a generation out there, young and old, that would like to make a contribution to society, who would like to see journalism as a career, but who also could be activists as such and contribute to community activism. And while talking to them, we realized that they need a structured program, they need guidance, they need discussion on legal issues, they need expertise on ethics, journalistic ethics as well as other values and ethics. And hence the idea came up with a boot camp for Muslims only at this stage. The thinking behind it is that we don't want them only to serve the Muslim media, though there's a big shortage of them in the Muslim media. We're also looking at them contributing to their local community weekly newspapers, the local community social media journalists, and just show that there are Muslims out there that care about community issues, that care about issues like the bad roads, issues about human rights and values and things like that. So that was the thinking behind this whole project.
So who is Anissa? You've referred to someone called Anissa. I also understand that she's an activist herself,
Yeah,
probably a journalist coming from a journalist background. Who is Anissa?
There's Sister Anissa Esak from Durban.
Okay.
We kind of got together because we've been working many other projects in Durban, and this is where the seed was planted in Durban 2 months ago.
All right, let's understand, what does this boot camp look like? Whom are you targeting? Young, old, age groups, males, females, and how is it going to roll out? What is it that you're going to cover? And do I necessarily have to come from a journalistic background to be able to attend, or does anybody qualify to attend?
It's open to everybody. We're looking for people that have a special desire in the media industry, people who like to work in the media, possibly as a career. So it's open to everybody. The program we designed is a very structured one. It's got 10 modules, 10 one-hour modules. If I could just quickly, if you could allow me,
Please,
just
please
quickly
go
go
ahead.
into.
Mhm.
Um, Essentially, on the first day, obviously the routine. So we'll be dealing with issues like what is citizen journalism, what is the background to it, the historical information relevance in it, and how the law affects them. The next session will basically deal with how to get news. What is news? What kind of news interests people? What is national news? What is local news? Um, so we'd focus on that. Thereafter, we deal with some case studies. SumNet has come on board as a media partner on this one, as well as another radio station. So they'll be talking about the case history from a Muslim point of view, how they've defended Islam in the non-Muslim mainstream media. Somebody then will be talking about her role as a activist journalist, not necessarily from a Muslim or Islamic point of view, but just as an activist in the community and how she's used the media. She's also a journalist, by the way. Then we were talking about the legal aspects, when to photograph people, when not to photograph people. So essentially, those 10 modules covering every aspect to do with being in an emerging media in the digital and print systems.
Rashid, how will this serve someone who's just completed a diploma or a degree in media studies or journalism? Do you think this will add to their already, you know, their qualification or the piece of paper they have as a degree or a diploma?
Yeah, it will certainly add value to them, value for them. It will enable them also to meet with their current media professionals. And if I could just look, they've asked us not to disclose their names at this stage. We're going to respect that as journalists, right? There's an editor from a Muslim newspaper who's going to be online. We've got an activist. We've got practicing journalists online. We've got people from the TV industry and the radio as well. So they will have an opportunity now to meet a variety of professionals in the industry during the breaks and even during the Q&A sessions.
Uh, the all important question, and we know that we know what's happening to broadsheets and newspapers in general. Their revenues are dropping or has dropped drastically simply because people ain't buying newspapers any longer. They're consuming news differently. How do we convince young people that this is still a space, an industry for them to make their mark in? And I know that once again, the issue of social media comes up as well. That is an opportunity to be tapped to your advantage as a seasoned or a qualified journalist with a degree or a diploma for that matter.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Sister Julie. The media industry will never dry. People may close down, there may be financial issues, but there will always be a role for media, for information. People are hungry for information. Information is power not only for the media, it's power for commerce and industry, for survival in the economic world out there. So they will have an opportunity to use these skills in multiple other ways. Look, the new world order is all about being multi-skilled. So journalism is just one of the aspects that they could earn a small living or even a full-time living from. So that's my key point that I want to motivate during my session on day one.
Okay, is this going to be an online course or is it going to be an in classroom situation? And I also have noticed that this is targeted at the KZN audience. Are you coming to Johannesburg with this as well?
Inshallah, sponsorship willing, we'll come to that. We're doing this a pilot program for three reasons. We want to try and develop a manual for this, and maybe it will link up with our medium-term strategies to have a full-time training academy where we will run short release courses for about 5 or 6 days. Will be quite intensive. So that was the one plan. The second idea is also that they may not all have access to forums to publish their material. So we're planning to design a website where the trainees can, publish their emerging articles and use that as a basis for their CVs and say, look, I've done this and that for those articles. So we want to give up some backup service as well. I want to touch on something else, Julie, with your permission. We've allocated 50 seats. Uh, we want to have 50 seats in this open air session. We're inviting Salam Media to choose two people of their choice to
Inshallah.
this program. So,
Oh,
if you
that's
could take this,
wonderful. Thank you. Jazakallah for that.
okay. So what we've done is we're allocating 25 seats for the public. We're allocating 12 seats to an NPO or an NGO so they can benefit from that. And the balance we're going to split up between students and underprivileged people. We want to bring people in at grassroots level. I think you know we have always worked at grassroots level, and we are not going to forget them. And we are getting sponsors slowly to pay for their travel every day, and the meals are all sponsored as well. And so that's where we're coming from. So
Okay. All right. I'm going to give this information to Ponty, our COO, and he will make the decision as to who the two people are, which would obviously mean we need to get those two people to Durban. Are you now based in Durban, Rashid?
no, no, I'm based in Johannesburg, and
I
alhamdulillah,
see.
thank God to digital media, I'm able to do all my
Okay.
projects from home. So
All right, wonderful. So you are sponsoring two people from Salam Media. I can see my producer and my controller jumping up and down here with absolute excitement. I'm not sure if they're going to be chosen, but anyway, be that as it may, lots of excitement in the studio. Let's get to the issue around captured journalists. How are you going to touch on that point? Because it's a serious matter, is it not?
absolutely serious. Um, it's a session we're going to be dealing with on that will cover legality. So under legalities, we're going to cover ethics and the aspect of being an upright Muslim first. And if you are upright Muslim first, then you will not allow yourself to be captured by anybody. You have Quranic values to adhere to, and you'll be using Quranic verses and hadith to strengthen the case of having truly, how can I put it, truly independent journalists in the community.
All right, that's the one aspect. We know that all, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, we always push our own agendas, and rightly so. We need to get the Muslim narrative out there because there are not enough of Muslim professionals or journalists that can tell the story as it's meant to be told. And if it wasn't for them and the Muslim media here in South Africa, I think half our stories, or even Islam or Islamophobia, would have been that much more rampant than it actually is. So, to all of the journalists all around the world that protect, us against Islamophobia, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala reward you. And that is part of our role, is it not? But
Correct.
how do we protect ourselves from criticism like bias regarding the Muslim viewpoint or Islam as a whole?
That's one of the challenges that we're going to undertake, and that's going to come under the banner of us providing, establishing a network of people and sharing expertise as well as skills how to do this. There's a lot of know-how out the world out there, but it's not being coordinated in a manner that is easily accessible to people to learn. So we'll be as soon as this program ends, we'll do an evaluation, quality assurance, and that's one of the aspects we're going to look at is who can we bring in to guide and mentor people on these topics. Because after the event, they'll be allowed to have discussions with us and pose questions to us so that we can give them guidance in becoming career-based journalists or even citizen journalism, basically. So we will guide them and mentor them after, even after the program is over.
Inshallah, and you don't necessarily have to want to be a journalist or necessarily want to be in the media space. I think if you attend this 1.5 day course, you are going to enhance your own profile. It doesn't matter what field you're in, and it's also going to look great on your CV. So tell us when, where, and costs. When is it happening? Where is it happening? The dates, the times, and obviously the costs involved.
It's the 27th and the 28th of May. That's a Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be at at a conference center in Durban. I can never remember its name, but they've given us a fantastic deal. You know, the amount of goodwill we've had from the beginning, as much as some
Alhamdulillah.
disappointments, is I know is beyond my expectation. I didn't expect that kind of goodwill. It started with Okaf, with also with you people, one of the Muslim TV studios, um, other radio stations, in individual retired journalists. So, alhamdulillah, we've been really benefiting from that support. Um, what I'm all right. Sorry, I forgot what you asked me. Can you get back
Dates, you said
the dates?
the 27th and 28th. You did say it's at a conference center in Durban.
Yeah.
Costs,
Look, it's absolutely free. The pilot program is absolutely free at this stage. We are looking for sponsors. We now basically only short of 24,000 out of our target of 50,000. So any other help we can get would be great. Um, the meals are covered, and we're also going to sponsor the transport of the needy people as well. Just one point on Salam Media, please. One of your two people must be a female person, right?
absolutely. We very no. We very gender sensitive, so don't worry about that.
And they
Um,
must please, if I can say one more, can they please register online? I'll send the link to
okay,
you separately or to
perfect.
Ponsi.
Okay.
Latest 20th of May, please. I think you know me as a very disciplined person, so we
I
want
do,
for.
I do, I do. Okay. What about people watching and listening to us this morning, Rashid, and they decide, I do want to sign up for this program because you're giving banking details, etc., account details. But you've now just said that you're trying to, present the entire course for free. How are they going to then sign up for the program if they're not sure what they're going to be charged for it?
They can sign up by contact me if you allow me to give out my number
Of
on
course.
at 084
084
257. No, no, no,
2125
no, no, no. Let me start again. 084
084
25 257
257
7786.
7786. So there you have it, 084 257 7786.
And I will send him the link. I will send him. There's a Q code link as well as a manual link so they can sign up online.
Okay,
Inshallah.
brilliant. Please, please, please come to Johannesburg sooner rather than later because I certainly would like to attend. Never mind how long I've been in the industry, but I think that I would enjoy being there. Uh, for people who, just are possibly at loose ends, unemployed, haven't even thought about going into the media industry at all, but just feels maybe I should attend. I might just gain something from it. I might get my aha moment whilst I'm in these sessions. Would you encourage them to attend?
Yeah, indeed we would. We internally, Anisha have reserved about 4 or 5 seats for people in that category.
Okay, we need to wrap up now. Anything that I've omitted to ask you, anything of importance at all that you believe the public should know about it before making up their minds whether they'd like to become a part of this amazing initiative? That's all I can say. Really, hats off to you, Rashid, and to Anissa. I think this is absolutely wonderful. And I do think that players, Muslim Muslim professionals in any and every other field should start having these type of workshops just to expose our youth to all the possibilities out there.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way. This is probably one of the first rare moments in history where we've got people from diverse Muslim media backgrounds coming together and running a workshop under a non-aligned banner. When I say non-aligned, I mean it's not associated to any particular organization. We're there to serve the ummah, and their expertise must also then benefit the ummah. That's all we are saying. So come in there, learn the skills, and then my motto with my Dawn Education Leadership Center is learn, lead, serve, and that's what Anisha and I both believe in. Come in there, learn, lead, and serve the ummah.
Alhamdulillah, really, I commend you for it, Rashid. An activist from the time I met you, and you're still carrying that banner. May you be rewarded for it. In
Amen.
wrapping up, final words from you. Anything else?
No, shukran jazakallah for that. And we look forward to having a full house. And I'm certain we're going to get it with the kind of support you're giving us. And I will just say, may the Almighty bless the occasion and allow us to serve Him in the best of ways, inshallah.
Amin, Suma Amin. Please speak to Ponty about possibly giving you guys live coverage on the day. We might get that many more people interested and start moving into this area of, taking this on as a profession going forward.
Jazakallah. Shukran jazilan to you, to everybody, Salam Media. And
Rashid Chopdat, wonderful talking with you once again, and my best wishes to Anissa as well. Go well, and I know it's going to be an amazing, successful day. Thank you for being with us on the show this morning, and salam alaikum to you.
barakallahu fikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Okay, don't forget those dates, good people. It's the 27th and the 28th of May, Saturday and Sunday. And of course, it's being hosted by a seasoned journalist, that is a journalist and activist Rashid Chopdat, and Anissa from Durban, Anissa Esak. Please do jot down that date. Sign up. It's going to be a day and a half of a great investment of your time. There's going to be a lot of learning happening at this event, inshallah. 9:49 news and views wrapping up with our final interview of the morning with Reggie Moalusi, Executive Director at the South African National Editors Forum. Please stay with us.